I don't know how many times people have laughed at me when I compare the US with Cuba. People always said the same phrase. That will never happen here, Billy. This is not Cuba. I want you to look closer. I want you to look at the control that is going on here in the US. The propaganda, the corruption is all here. The only difference right now is that we still have groceries on the shelves. The US is becoming Cuba 2.0 with groceries for now. Consider the fact that government control is everywhere. Cuba is the same. In Cuba, government controls everything. Work, food, medicine, everything. In the US, regulations, taxes, surveillance are creeping into everything that you do in your personal life. Freedom is shrinking by the day. Slowly, but they're all gonna be gone. They're all gonna be gone. So, if you think the government does not control everything yet, well, it doesn't happen overnight because we have a Second Amendment. But surely enough, we're being more and more controlled. Exactly the way that they control folks back in Cuba. The propaganda machine. Cuba has state-run TV. It tells people everything is fine. Not once, living in Cuba, not once I heard from the programs on the TV stations and whatnot saying things are really horrible here. There is no food, there is no electricity, there is no water, there is nothing. Communism sucks. Not once I heard that. Everything they said was like, everything is fine. We will continue to fight. We will continue to be strong. We have the means to fight the imperialism. Yeah, everything was fine. In the US, the corporate media, a whole bunch of parrots. The government told them what to say, what line to say, the official narrative, and they silence everything. If the government says don't say this, the whole idea of we have a First Amendment, yeah, you and I say whatever we want. You and I have a First Amendment, of course, until YouTube says, yeah, no, because this is private. First Amendment only applies to government telling you you cannot say this. Private companies can definitely oppress you on your First Amendment. And the funny thing is that governments use corporate media to pass their narrative, their official narrative. And this is what you need to believe. And the funny thing is, guys, there's so many people who believe that. And unfortunately, because we still have food on the shelves. And I say unfortunately because the moment that food on the shelf goes off and they're empty, the lies are over with. Because nobody in Cuba believes what the television is telling them. Right now, you still believe what the television is telling you here because your belly is full. So, the whole message, trust us, don't question, everything is fine, will go off the window the moment the shelves are empty. But nonetheless, the propaganda machine will still be there. Same way that it is in Cuba. In fact, it's going to increase. Cuba collapsed because of corruption and mismanagement. That happened even before Castro took over. Mismanagement and corruption. So they had a failing economy. It got even worse after Castro. Oh my God, it was just worse. But nonetheless, America. Trillions in debt. Inflation up the roof. The inflation is destroying whatever little savings you had. Your paycheck. What is that? Savings. What is that? Exactly the same way that it was in Cuba. People don't have savings in Cuba. They can't. They can't. I mean, they literally live paycheck to paycheck. Jobs have been replaced with scraps. In Cuba, they tell you what job you can do and what job you cannot do. Here, yeah. What you can do is shitty jobs. Because the good jobs are taken by corporate executive, by rich, by those in power, telling you what to do. In fact, those in power in Cuba, those are the ones who live good. And guess what? Those are the same people in cahoot with the government and in the government. Isn't that the same in here? The system is rotten, both over there and in here. And where leaders in high power pretend that everything is good, everything is stable, you and I know that is not true. The shortages in Cuba, you got shortage of everything. The only thing that you don't have shortage on is having shortages. That is not in short of. You have shortages on everything. Milk, bread, medicine, electricity, water, everything. In America, we have seen baby formula shortages. Perhaps you can think about that and do your own research. We have seen shortages, medicines delays, food supplies when there is a disaster. It's a shortage no matter what. Big or small, it's a shortage. Right now, the shelves look full. I am starting to pay more attention to the shelf because I usually don't pay attention to it. But now what they're doing is they're pushing things to the front. Nothing in the back. I went to get my favorite coffee the other day, Bustelo. There were 3 left. One was broken. The seal was broken. That's it. That's it. Give it a minute, and you're going to see more and more shortages. And the more that you see those empty shelves, the more that Americans are going to start looking more and more like Cuba. You're going to be like, oh crap, this is Cuba 2.0. That Cuban guy was not that crazy. I'm not crazy. Just people don't like what I have to say. Again, the only difference between Cuba and the US, honestly, right now, is America has food on the shelves. But the question is, for how long? Yes, America does have a Second Amendment. I hope that America has a population willing to fight. I don't know. I don't know. The problem is that how long will those shelves will be full, and when they go empty? How long until civil unrest breaks over? Then martial law will be implemented. Then your Second Amendment gets revoked. And then we finally can say America became Cuba 2.0. Cuba did not collapse overnight. It decayed over the years, and it's the same decay that I am seeing here. So I will say yet again that once we see the shelves finally going empty, the illusion that we have that we will never be like Cuba will fly off the window. And you will see and think and act in a very different manner. With that being said, I hope you have a great one. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the links in the pinned comment below. Consider joining our Frontier Prepper Squad or let an ad to you run. It really does make a difference. And always remember, those who prepare today will not struggle tomorrow.